Hey, Splendid Snake here with another figure review. Today we have got the Marvel Select Ultron. Now this is what had received the most votes from my Marvel Select Venom review. I gave you a picture at the end. Unfortunately I left this guy off the picture, but I added in the comments he was available as well. So sorry about that, my mistake. But yeah, this guy got the most. It was Thing, Rhino, and then Ultron here got a few extra votes due to the new Avengers movie coming out shortly. And for those of you who don't know what it's called, it is the Avengers Age of Ultron. So that's why I thought it'd be a good idea to do this guy. So on to the actual figure itself. What's my overall opinion on this figure? Honestly, I wanted this guy because I wanted an Ultron figure and I wanted a decent one. And I didn't like the Toy Biz one that came out ages ago, and I didn't like the Hasbro one that came out with the Ironmonger series. So I decided to go for this guy, and wow, I really do actually like this figure. I'm so glad that they improved his hips, because when they first released some prototype images of this guy, his hips stuck out really far. So I'm so glad that they improved that, and that's actually the only reason I really got this guy. If they didn't, I would not have bothered. But overall, this guy is actually really cool, and we'll go over him in a sec. He comes with just this this base here, which has the Wasp and Giant Ant-Man, not Giant Man, on the ground with some Hawkeye arrows and some bricks at the background. All in all, it's got a really nice paint scheme and it looks really good. So very happy with it. The actual Wasp and Ant-Man are separate pieces, so they could probably be taken off for some custom work if anyone wanted to do that, because they are very small. Like, there's my finger, you can see tiny. But yeah, some really nice detail in it. All the paintwork is actually pretty spot on. I can't actually see any mistakes or anything. It looks really nice. It's a nice base. The back of it, the bricks, although they've got a slight sculpt on the inside, they are hollow. So it wouldn't look as nice. But from any other angle though, it looks really good. The only problem I have, I don't know if you saw, he's got these two pegs here for his feet, but there's not room for the actual feet, so he ends up kind of hovering. I'll show you that if I put him back on. If you see what I mean? He's kind of hovering. It just doesn't look quite right. I mean, that one's not too bad, although he's kind of stepping on Wasp. But unless maybe he's supposed to do something like put it over this side. I don't know. That's the only real gripe I have about it. Apart from that, it is a really nice base. Onto this guy. He stands fine by himself, and before I forget, I want to go over the detail on his feet, because he has these thrusters on his feet and the pegs are there, and I think they look really cool with what they've done there. Nice detail in the actual thrusters and the actual sculpt. He doesn't have much detail or sculpt wise like in his definition, but he has these black lines which are all sculpted throughout, and they are really well done. And they look very cool. And his head sculpt is also very cool. Does look really nice, and it's a great representation of the classic Ultron, which we've all come to know and love, or hate. I always thought his head was a weird shape. Apparently that's supposed to represent an ant head, because it was Ant-Man who created him, apparently. It's been a long time since I've read any of that, so I honestly can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that's true. And I got this guy second hand off my Facebook book, but you can pick him up reasonably cheap on eBay still. Last time I looked, he was only going for about £18. That might have gone up with the new movie coming out, I don't know. But all in all, a really solid, decent figure, and I would recommend picking him up. So let's go over his size comparison. One thing I don't know if it's just mine, but this leg seems to be a bit extended more than the other one, so he tends to lean a bit to the side, which is a bit annoying. Now, this being a Marvel Select, he does stand taller than his normal figures, but I'm okay with that. He stands approximately just under 7.5 inches. A few size comparisons. Hyperion, Bucky Cap, Superior Spider-Man, Marvel Select Venom, and the new Spider-Girl. Let's go over the articulation. Now, the head is on a hinge, and it can go back that far. You can go very stiff joints forward that far. the peg, if it is on a peg, it's too tight to wobble or anything, so you don't get no pivot or anything, but you can rotate around full 360 degrees. He says you kind of just have to get over these little spikes here, so that's fine. The shoulders are on ball discs. They can go around 360 degrees, but they are hindered. This is a very solid piece, so you can't go past that unless you bring it outwards and then you go around like that. But they can go out that high, and they can rotate at the bicep. They can rotate at the elbow. I'm really not a fan of this joint. I don't know why companies do both. I guess it's maybe the best of both worlds, but to me, if you have a bicep, you don't need a rotation at the elbow, and if you do, it ruins it. So, because you don't get as much of a bend. He has a single bend in the elbow, not quite 90 degrees, but it's not too bad, and then just a cut in the wrist. As you see, this hand is open and this hand is a fist. It's a pretty decent diaphragm joint. It can go forward that much and back that much. So that's pretty cool. You can get some nice flight poses or some hunched over poses. So that's pretty cool. You can pivot from side to side that much, and you do have a probably 360 degree rotation in the upper torso as well. Now mine was very stiff and I didn't think I actually had it, but he also has a waist cut just here, just below this belt, of 360 degrees, and like I said, mine is very stiff, but it does look a bit unnatural like that. Having said that, he is a robot and can pretty much do whatever he wants, so that would be fine. We have T-cut hips, which is awesome. I was worried about that after I saw the prototype had moved in, and I was worried they went for the Y angle. So he has a Spartan of that, and then he has a split. You could go further, but due to the sculpt of the thighs, they kind of don't really want to go into this one. Is okay, but I'm worried it's putting too much stretch, so I wouldn't like to go further than that of a split kick. But you know, that's pretty damn decent in my opinion. Then there's upper thigh rotation, but again, due to sculpt, you have to work with it a little bit, see, because it's. But when are you really going to do that? And then he has a double in the knee. Not the best, but still pretty decent. And then the ankle with loads of articulation. He has a rotation just here above the little ball, so full 360 degree there. And then you have an ankle point from there to there, and then you also have the ankle pivot. So that is maybe the most articulation I've seen in an ankle from a Marvel Select. Is very impressive. Now someone told me that Marvel Selects are very limited to only 16 points of articulation. Yeah. This guy, I counted, I think, something around the region of like 34 points, so I don't think that's true, and I believe it might change. They commented on this guy because this guy was limited in the knees, the upper torso, and the ankle, so that might be why they said that. And I remember they were for a while, but this guy just blows out of the park. I mean, this guy's got so much, and if you count with me, you got the ankle pivot, so that's 2, then ankle up and down, so that's 4. Ankle rotation, that's 6, 8, 10, rotation here, 12, going in and out, 14, forward and back, 16, and then you got cuts, 18, rotation, 20, forward and back, 22, bicep rotation, 24, going out, 26, forward and back, 28, and then you've got waist rotation, 29, diaphragm forward and back, 30, plus to the side, 31, rotation, I don't know if you want to count that, so we'll do count that as one, so what was that, 31 or 30, and then you've got head going forward and back, so that's 31, and then rotation 32, so that's 32 points of articulation, you know, so to me, I think that's really impressive. So let's go over my gripes over the figure. You know, I've just noticed this, I didn't notice it before, but this shoulder pad sculpted right under his breastplate, whereas this one's just to the top of his breastplate. Yeah, these seem to be a bit, this one's slightly lower, but I wonder why that is. Ah, it's very weird, I never noticed that before. Right, anyway, sorry, my gripes. The shoulder pads, they are a slight gripe in the fact that you can't go higher up than that. I wish they were a softer rubber to not get in the way, but it's not a big deal. You can get his arms straight out forward, and I'm happy with that. I can work with anything else. Sticking to the arms is this joint. Although I'm not a big fan of this rotation, this peg looks very small If I bring that right in close, try and get to focus. There you go. See, this peg going into the arm is very, very small, and this is a very, very stiff joint. So I am worried with excess use and excess posing over time that is just going to snap. But that's my overall gripe, to be honest. I'm very happy with the figure overall, and I really do recommend him. He's a really cool representation and looks very, very badass. Pretty much I would say a must-have for Marvel Select or Marvel Legend collectors if they want a decent incarnation of Ultron for his classic look. I think he is a really great buy. He's a good value for money, and I would recommend picking him up. I got this guy off of Facebook. I can't remember. I think I only paid £16 for him. It might have been 15 actually. I honestly can't remember. I've had him for quite a while, but such an amazing figure. Him combined with his base, really, really happy. So, like I said, would definitely recommend getting this guy. Okay, so putting him aside, we still have the rest of the Marvel Selects to choose from. So guys, as per usual, please comment and let me know who you guys want to do. The current running is between Rhino and the Thing, but if we get more views, we'll go for someone different. But anyway, so that's my review, guys. I hope you guys liked it. I definitely do recommend this figure. I really would suggest him. Truly a great figure with some minor defects in those elbows that I was already talking about. That's my only major real gripe. I can deal with the shoulder pads. It's just them that I'm worried about breaking. Definitely pick this guy up. Great figure. Worth every penny. So anyway, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed this video, please drop me a like. Please leave any comments down below also. Please subscribe, and I'll be catching you guys in my next one. Bye bye. The big nuke